back to another Smart Money Sundays. Now, in this video, I am recording this on the go, but I can't miss another Sunday for you guys. So I'm gonna jump right into it. So as always, let's get started with DXY. Now, if you recall from last week's video, I did say I'm looking for a reversal from these two levels. Now, what price is doing is actually showing us support from 102 level. So this shows this is a good thing in terms of bulls for DXY. Remember, my target is still 109 in terms of swing perspective. So let me jump down to the lower time frame to actually see what's been going on. So if you recall, I was looking at this low to get swiped this previous week. That didn't happen. What ended up happening is price respected this level, and we've actually pushed up in a broken structure above, which is a good thing, as it's showing a lot of strength in the market. Now, currently for the new week, what I'm looking for is a potential deeper retracement into 103 level, right? Potentially take out this liquidity pocket here of 103 level before we see continued expansion into 105. Okay, so that's sort of the idea of what I'm looking at in terms of DXY, because we do have liquidity here at the lows. Let me mark it out like this. So I am sort of looking for price to come out, purge this liquidity as a start of the week, which is Monday. You usually see a false move occur during the Monday in particular, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, reversal and expansion for a bullish dollar. So that's sort of my game plan coming into the new week. Okay, now remember, we're going to see volatility next week majoritively, and then when we go into the week after, we're approaching Christmas. So markets are gonna start becoming a lot dead, and that's usually when I take a break off away from the market. So this is the sort of the last week, trading week, where I'm particularly looking at setups when it comes to FX and commodities in particularly. Okay, so that's sort of my idea for DXY. Right, I'm still bullish as long as we clear this liquidity pocket and then a complete retracement. Okay, again, I'll be trading these setups with confirmations and share them with mentorship students and premium analysis members. Again, links will be in the description for that down below. Now let's move on to EU. So again, pairing with the confluences of EU. Now, if you recall from last week's video, I was looking for a move into one of these two levels, right? We didn't get that. The trend has been heavily bearish, but now we've come into this pivotal demand zone. What I'm currently looking for is, because we've been bearish this previous week, think about all the sellers, right? Think about all the sellers that have placed all their that have been shorting with the trend here. I'm looking for a purge of that liquidity before we continue on down low. Now, what you usually see when you're coming to high time frame demand levels, even if you're on bearish on high time frames, you usually see again a false push up to clear out, induce more buyers into the market, clear out early previous sellers before you see the continuation in trend. Okay, because remember, there's a lot of buyers in this level, so buyers need to exhaust before sellers can overcome this in particular level, especially on the higher time frame. So this is the sort of idea I'm looking for. I'm looking for buys into the first half of the week, but my main high probability setups, okay, is going to be the shorts, right? Because again, I'm bullish on the DXY. So that's sort of my idea of what I'm looking for. Again, these key levels are still very, very much pivotal on EU. Okay, I want to see this pocket at least get purged into. If not, 109, okay, should get taken, right? This level at least should get taken before we see continuation down below, right? Very, very simple for EU. Now let's move over to BTC. Now, if you recall from last week's video, I did say, right, I was looking for an expansion, right? Just like I explained, when you have these sort of setups, you usually have creeks, which I refer to as you have slower movements in the market before you see expansion. Now, I recommend you go watch last week's video. It's very educational. But anyway, this is what I covered, and it played out absolutely perfectly. All right, me and the team have been in a lot of altcoin longs in the market, but it actually played out absolutely amazingly. So now, in terms of what I'm anticipating for the new week, is now we've come into the extremity of my high time frame supply. So now I'm not looking to long anything BTC related. What I'm anticipating to occur now is range, right? Range until we go into January before we see volume again. So I think we're likely just going to see range. We may take out the high, take out the low, but I think we're just going to see range. Now, the only way I'd be getting into any setups is if we break above 48K. Now that is very much possible before the new year, but in terms of this week, I'm more interested in looking at range plays. Okay, so most of my focus will be shifted on altcoins, not Bitcoin in particular. I won't be looking to trade Bitcoin because we're likely going to range, mainly because we're on higher time frame supply before we see any major retracements in the market. So Bitcoin is not really something I'm really looking at for this week, as we capitalized off the previous week's move as expected. But for this week, I just anticipate range. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend trading Bitcoin, but that doesn't mean there aren't opportunities elsewhere. So if you go over to Ethereum, again, if you recall from last week's video, right, I did say as long as price stays above 2142, we will see expansion to the upside. And if you look, that's exactly what happened, right? It didn't get a deeper pullback as we wanted, but once I saw market structure, bullish market structure, right, price failed to push down below. It showed me the trend was extremely bullish, and that's why I was long with the team on alts. Okay, and I'm still in those swing alts. And if you have me on Instagram, you can take a look at those positions as well. But in terms of what I'm looking for before the by the end of the year is $2,700. Okay, I generally believe we're going to see this level hit before year end, mainly because structure is still very, very much bullish. We have a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now what I'm anticipating is a potential retest of this previous structure before expansion into 2700. That will complete the full swing objective. Okay, and that's where I'll be looking to take profit on my alts as we before we come into January, because I believe as we approach January, we're going to see a sentiment shift in the whole market, especially in crypto. And I've covered this with students in particular, but this is something I'll cover in potentially in another video. But that's sort of my idea of what I'm looking for. A continued into expansion into 2700 and potentially to 3K before we see any major reversals in Ethereum. And this is where opportunity for alts will really come in hand. Okay, so you want to map this zone out. Okay, in particular this mid structure level. Okay, this low to this high. Okay, I want to see price come back below to the 50% level. Look for lower time frame structure, bullish confirmation, and then long this fucker into $2,700. Okay, very, very simple. No need to overcomplicate the setup. All right, now let's move over to gold. Now gold, if you recall, again, please go watch the last week's video, because it will help you understand how I'm reading the market. But if you remember, this is a high time frame liquidity pocket at $2,080. Right now, what I said is if price comes back to this level without breaking this, without tapping this level, I'd be looking for longs. And I said the opposite. If it comes into this level first, then I'll be looking for reactions for shorts. Now, if you look, what price ended up doing is this was the reaction zone. Price pushed up, cleared this high time frame liquidity pocket, and then broke structure and pushed down, right? And then what ended up happening, it retested the previous zone before breaking structure again. Now, this is extremely bearish. This is extremely bearish structure. So now what I'm looking for in terms of gold is I'm bearish on gold now, especially aligning with the confluence that I am bullish on the dollar. I'm more bearish on the on gold, right? So this is more about building confluence. So what I'm looking for in terms of the new week, because this, as long as this high stays intact, okay, within the new week I'll be looking for a pullback, okay, back into $20,020 level for the next expansion down. So ideally I'll be looking for from this 4-hour high to this 4-hour low, okay, for price to push back into my premium level, which is above 50%. That is where I want to be looking for lower time frame confirmations to then short this fucker back down, targeting back into these lows of 1953. Okay, that is a very nice setup. If it sets up nicely, I will take that with the team amid confirmation. That is very, very much important. But this is where I'll ideally be looking for this setup, again above the 4-hour high and then into 1950 level, right? That's a nice 1 to 3 setup is what I'll be looking out for into the new week. So if you guys enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. If you found value, please do let me know, because and let me know if I should keep doing this as well. Okay, it helps me know that you guys are generally finding value from this. But with all that said and done, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.